Hello, my name is Cupid or Swap or whatever other name you may know me by, and today I'm going to be talking about Chaoticz. Now, I knew of him beforehand with his Cupid I Expose video, and there was another one too, I can't remember, but more so just from his multiple comments on various art commentary videos and live streams. I don't have screenshots to show it, but if you are also active in the ACC or just like to read comments while watching these videos, you've probably seen his comments as well. He kind of likes to put himself in these situations with other dramas that he watches, like he wants to be a part of it. And although that's probably most likely not what it is, that's just what I've gathered from the amount of comments this dude posts on every single one of these ACC videos I watch as well. In my very humble opinion, although I've seen one or maybe two of his videos before, I've not known much of him. For a brief rundown though, Chaoticz or CHAOZ is an art commentary YouTuber that sometimes talks about other ACC members or just general topics about other artists, like on TikTok or something. Examples being their Cupid I and Schuster videos, which these two videos are clearly drama related, and as everybody knows, people love their drama. Seriously, and I think Chaoticz knows this. These two videos are also most notably his most viewed videos, which also kind of proves my point. Drama kills. Besides that though, he also sometimes does animation memes with his little Sona. Very interesting Sona. Other than that though, he's just another typical guy on YouTube that just wants to make art, right? Well, lately, for the past couple of weeks, not just for the past couple of weeks, there's been multiple videos or live streams about Chaoticz for the past year, but most notably, there's been a lot of videos coming out from people like Love Like Mary, Bug Thief, I think even Leo Convoy, and other people we're gonna talk about in a second, but these videos have been pumping out recently, and people are kind of just coming out with their experience about what Chaoticz did and why he should be called out. I think the best place to start with all this is the end. I swear this will make sense. It's just easier for me to explain this way. On the 10th of May, 2026, YouTuber Chaoticz, aka CHAOZ, had come into contact with another Discord user he claimed to be an assassin. Like, first off, CHAOZ says that he met this dude through Straw Page. I don't imagine any assassins coming to contact with somebody on Straw Page, then going onto Discord. It's possible, I guess, but that's something just to keep in mind of. But anyways, oh my god. What's even worse is that this assassin on Discord, they have their profile picture as, I assume, some Dandy's Word character, and their display as Master Chaos. I'm so sorry, but there's no way you believe this person was an actual hitman in the first place. But lo and behold, he did. Because when he was offered that his ex, Clay Plexler, could be killed by this quote-unquote hitman, Chaos literally, he jumped at the chance and full-on doxed this person without zero hesitation, by the way, sharing his face, name, school, address. This is seriously insane. You hired, not even you hired, this assassin came to you first, but when they give the slightest saying, hey, I can kill this person for you, what do you say? No hesitation, fumbled under zero pressure, said yes, let's do it, here's their address, their face, everything. And then when news came out about this about, let's say, 2 weeks ago, as I'm recording this, CHAOZ made a community post just explaining his side, that he wasn't in the right state of mind, and that he hadn't been himself for months, and that many victims actually have thoughts of wanting their rapist dead and killed. Oh yeah, did I mention that CHAOZ claimed that the person he doxed in the chat with the claimed hitman is his rapist? Well, that's what he'd want the public to believe for about 5 to 6 years now. That long. CHAOZ claims that he's been raped, abused, harassed, and assaulted by his ex, Clay Plexler, multiple times, and now it's always believe the potential victims versus the potential abuser. But when you admit on call with said abuser that you made up all these claims for almost no reason, it gets pretty difficult for people to keep believing you.
Let's just quickly just recap. So we can cross off the rape, right?
Yeah.
We can cross off the rape. We can cross off the me being an abuser, right?
Yeah.
We can cross off the sexual assault shit.
Yeah.
So we can pretty much cross off all those allegations and rumors about me, right? So, I think that was everything, right?
And not only that, with all the oncoming videos popping up about him, there's multiple ways CHAOZ's claims has been like just false, lying, straight up lying. All of it is false. And although it's very difficult in these situations to prove who is correct and who isn't in these types of situations, it's been backed up with a lot of proof and evidence that Clay Plexler is not a rapist. I personally do not think he's a rapist. A lot of this is also proven in the doc against CHAOZ, which we'll be reading in a second. And it's also shown in this doc, CHAOZ has most of the time lied and or twisted the narrative to multiple people, including his ex-friends, without literally any shame. He has tricked people and friends and to anybody that believed him about this story. It's like it was almost everything CHAOZ had talked about. Clay Plexler was CHAOZ's friend. They met in elementary school, I believe. I'll link all of this in the description. But CHAOZ claims that he had met Clay Plexler in elementary school. They had become friends and grown a romantic bond within each other. And he also claims that Clay was a little bit touchy, a little bit flirtatious, but it was also kind of mutual as well. I don't hear that CHAOZ had been touchy with Clay Plexler as well, but I mean, it's shown in the screenshots, even in his own videos too. I won't deny that, but they had been very touchy with each other. But CHAOZ would go as far to say that he was raped by this person. Given the context that we'll show in a second in the doc, it's very difficult to believe that CHAOZ is telling the truth. He's either twisting the narrative like he always does, or he's just straight up lying. But for what reason? We don't know. Now we're gonna look at the doc right now, and let's just look at this. So I'm gonna skip past a couple of the pages from beforehand because I've already explained most of this. So we're just gonna go towards this page. It'll be on the screen. So we're gonna be talking about a person named Olivia, which was Chaoticz's most latest ex-partner. They had found out that CHAOZ had CSAM of their ex-partner, aka Clay Plexler. But why does Chaoticz have CSAM of Clay Plexler? Well, that's because during the time Clay and Chaoticz were dating, they had sent each other, photos. And even after the breakup, even after Chaoticz throws accusations that Clay Plexler is the rapist, he had still had photos of this person. Why? Who knows? Who knows? And where has Chaoticz been keeping these photos of these, at the time, minors? Well, it was in his old server. His old server with him and Clay Plexler. He claims that when his partner found out at the time, Olivia found out at the time that Chaoticz had these photos, CHAOZ claimed that, it was at the bottom. You know how you have multiple servers on the left side of your screen? If you have a whole bunch, they're layered from top to bottom. CHAOZ had claimed that it was all the way on the bottom. Nope, we can see in this screenshot here that was literally not even, it wasn't the last one, it wasn't the second to last. It was the third server on his list. The third one. So it was pretty recent. So I just want to say, it is technically in the eye of the law, it is illegal to send photos to each other, even if you both are minors. But it's pretty typical for minors to do this. It's lawfully wrong, but I mean, who's gonna really stop these kids from doing this? I mean, not like kids. No, if it's kids, that's gross. But I mean, like older minors, But even after CHAOZ had turned 18, CHAOZ still, I mean, it's okay. even after CHAOZ turned 18, even after CHAOZ had broken up with Clay Plexler, even after CHAOZ had claimed Clay Plexler is his rapist, he still had these photos of his ex-partners in this server. Just let that sink in. There's also another section in this document that involves another person named Bam. I won't explicitly be going into detail about that, as that's not the main focus of the video, but let it be known that CHAOZ had been in contact with a young minor. I mean, CHAOZ was also, I believe, 15. It's somewhere in the document here. He made NSFW art of this minor. It's right here. It's right here. Oh my god. But yeah, I won't be going into that, but I'm still gonna link the doc in the description so you can read all this for yourself. It's crazy. Everything started crashing down once Melivia had gone through CHAOZ's phone and saw the server where CHAOZ had kept the very much NSFW stuff between him and Clay when they were around 12 to 14 years old. Mind you, CHAOZ is now 18 when this is all happening, 17, while having all of this still in the server. Once CHAOZ had found out about all this, he got mad at Melivia for not deleting it themselves. I'm sorry, that's your photos. That's all of this is yours owned. You own this. Why are you blaming your partner? Why are you blaming your partner for not going and deleting the CSEM you own? That's disgusting, Chaoticz. That's actually diabolical. Also, CHAOZ would claim that the server him and Clay Plexler had originally was gone, deleted. Clay Plexler was on call with Melivia in October 2025. Around that time, Clay Plexler was looking around old DMs with CHAOZ and noticed that this server that him and Clay Plexler had between each other when they were 12 to 14, he wanted to check if it was still working, if he was just curious, looking around. He joined it, and to his surprise, because he would have thought that because now that himself and CHAOZ are broken up and CHAOZ has these claims against Clay Plexler, he would think, oh, the server's gone, it's deleted. No, it's still there. It's still there. And as soon as he joined, I kid you not, as soon as he joined, CHAOZ banned him. Now, tell me, how did he know that Clay Plexler joined the server if, one, the server was deleted, or two, his other excuse that, oh, this server was all the way on the bottom of my servers list, I wouldn't even known it was there. No, he banned him. He banned him. What? Now we're gonna get into a section of the document that I personally have some type of beef with. I mean, I'm sure the creators had well intentions with this and they didn't mean to do this, but there's a section where they address that CHAOZ had, he addressed himself to his server that CHAOZ had at the time. I don't know if it's still up or not. I'm not gonna go check. I don't want to check, but if it's up, let me know. But he addressed that Melivia went through his phone and saw the CSEM. And oh my god, I think I just have personal beef. Why? If the creator of this document knew that Chaoticz is a chronological liar, that Chaoticz is known to spread false information, and that he twists the narratives and stories, wouldn't they think that Chaoticz would explicitly, very much well to his own behalf, twist and lie about this story to his server to gain sympathy or whatever kind of empathy he wants? So he tells his server a lie. Let me just read it to you. This is gonna be, you can skip this part if you want, or you could just pause and read yourself. But Chaoticz says, during early 2025, Mal went on my phone while I was sleeping. This was on a separate occasion, not to be confused with me and him deleting stuff together. And he had found explicit photos of me and Clay's private server, which again, I had no idea about. The morning after, he told me about it, and of course I was shocked. He told me he had explicitly deleted photos off the private server, which I trusted him since he was my boyfriend. So, of course, I trusted his word. And to explain, me and him deleting stuff together, this stuff was on a separate occasion while we were at his house, and we looked through and delete stuff together in me and Clay's private DMs. This was also during early 2025. Now, I've already explained why I forgot about those images, which I don't feel the need to explain all over again for the millionth time, but since Mal told me now he deleted everything, and I mean everything, I trusted him and didn't feel the need to look back at the private server for the remainder of the year. Why did you still not delete the server itself? First of all, you don't have to have your boyfriend, your at the time boyfriend, delete the CSEM you owned in a server for you. Second, even if it's your boyfriend, you should trust your boyfriend's word, but also delete the server. Why are you keeping the server? Sorry, I had to butt in. And of course, fast forward to now, some random tries joining said private server for some reason and says that they saw something and documented it. I didn't believe it at first because I firmly believed Mal deleted everything like he said, but I decided to take a look, and turns out he didn't delete much. Now I'm not trying to put the blame on Mal because I know it was really my responsibility to delete the nudes I had of myself. But I am upset that he lied to me about it and had given me false hope everything was gone. However, I have deleted all the nude photos of myself, and the private server itself is now deleted, which should have been in the first place. I truly understand how weird it is, but again, I truly thought it was all gone because my ex told me. Again, I'm not trying to put all the blame on him. Now, I literally have someone who has explicit photos, which I'm now way worried about at the moment. I hope this is easy to understand. Again, I did not know my nudes were still there. I really should have checked just in case, instead of just blindly believing my ex deleted everything. I take responsibility for that, but the server itself is now deleted. That was a lot. That was a lot. But this is what he said to his server, and of course, if you're in somebody's server and they're explaining themselves in their server about a situation they're in, it's usually typical for the server members to kind of take their side over someone else's side, especially when they don't really know the other person, which is the place of these server members. They didn't have much to go off of. They only really have Chaoticz's side. They're not actually in this private server with him and Clay Plexler. Also, a note, the quote-unquote random person that joined and has these photos now is Clay Plexler. It's stated in the document before all this, but Clay Plexler made a separate account just to join to get further information off of this. Anyways, this is what Chaoticz, sorry, they both have a name starting with C. This is what Chaoticz stated in his server. And I kind of get what the editors were trying to do with this, with saying, oh, no censorship on these users because they deserve to be called out for these ridiculous claims they're making. I get what they're trying to do. They didn't believe, they have more evidence and more knowledge about the situation than these random server members. These server members don't have much to go off of other than Chaoticz, which is the server owner. So it's typical for them to take server owner's side. But if you are not a server member, you're not Chaoticz, but you know more about the situation and what's happening, you're going to think that these server members are evil and they're trying to take Chaoticz's side because they have all the knowledge, all of the whereabouts of why this is happening and what's going on. So no censorship on their names, I get it. But Chaoticz is a chronological liar. They didn't know much, so it's just a little nitpick of mine. Now, with that being said, I am in contact with someone who used to be somewhat close with Chaoticz. They ended up being in the document themselves as well, like having their username uncensored, all that. They're going to be anonymous here because they don't deserve to be harassed furthermore than what the document had probably gotten them. So I'm going to read a statement from them. They're anonymous. They just don't try to find these people. But I believe this statement is going to be a little more of an insight to knowing that these are real people that I understandably, I knew what you were trying to do. You were trying to bring justice and having their names uncensored, but they're still real people, and they were being lied to from Chaoticz. So let me just read the statement real quick.
During this time this first surfaced earlier this year, we knew CHAOZ said it was being handled by police and Clay's siblings were harassing them and was saying that they had explicit material on their phone. When we heard about this, CHAOZ said it was of themselves when they were younger and didn't say they had anyone else, only of them. CHAOZ said that Clay had these pictures and were sending them to people, making us think that Clay and this other person were a position of explicit material of younger CHAOZ, making us think CHAOZ was actually the victim in this instance. As far as laws go, we were undereducated, and as we didn't know that even if the explicit material is of yourself, it is still bad. Hence, why our reasonings were trash in that instance. We were not told of the instance of Malivia deleting the stuff off of CHAOZ's phone, the server CHAOZ with Clay, or that CHAOZ had Clay's explicit pictures. None of that. CHAOZ even said that the police were on their side, and they weren't in the wrong, and we believed them. While stuff didn't make sense, that is what we thought, as why would someone we trust lie to us? We only got the full picture once the doc was released and really understood what CHAOZ had done, and this turned majority of us against them as they left very important details that painted them to be the actual problem. Instead, they wanted the victim mentality, and since we were just some people on the internet, it was easy to lie straight to our face. CHAOZ only sent and showed us screenshots that showed them being the victim or coercion into these explicit pictures, but not the full context or story behind them, making them seem innocent and Clay the monster. I am still unsure how to think of those instances CHAOZ claims happened in middle school, but what I will say is that CHAOZ is in the wrong for keeping those images even when they claim they don't remember. They also don't take accountability and expect us to cover for them, but we now know what actually happened. Sorry for any misunderstandings and sorry for our ignorance and lack of knowledge. The ex-friends of CHAOZ now know the truth matters, and will be very careful who they interact with in the future. Be careful of everything and everyone you hear on the internet. Monsters like these are closer than you think. Look further into evidence. Thank you.
Now, aside from the statement, I want to come back to what the doc was originally about. The doc was originally about calling out CHAOZ for his disgusting actions of owning CP, which was, in context, his ex-partner's nudes. He wants to claim that it was only his nudes there, and also claim that Clay Plexler owned them as well, but Clay Plexler has no nudes. None of CHAOZ. Now, what happens when you tell too much lies that even your lies start to become confusing to you, and you start to backtrack and lose what the truth is and what isn't the truth? Well, that's what happened with CHAOZ. When his server found out that CHAOZ was pretty much twisting the narrative, lying, not telling the truth, they started to question him more and more, and he started to backtrack. There'll be screenshots I'll show right here. One says this, one says that, but in the end, CHAOZ is just a liar. CHAOZ is a liar, and we're coming back to a full circle now. We're going back to when CHAOZ had come into contact with a quote-unquote hitman, which is kind of like the end to the story until we get further information on what's happening with CHAOZ. CHAOZ has taken a break off the internet, as we can see, I guess. I mean, who knows if that's a lie either, because this dude is known to lie and spread misinformation and trick people. If I left anything out, please let me know without attacking or harassing me. Don't harass anybody in this video. Don't harass the doc makers. Don't try to find the anonymous person. Don't harass me. Not even CHAOZ. Even as much as you think he deserves it, please don't harass CHAOZ. It's just gonna make the problem much worse. The whole reason why I'm even making this video is just for him to hold accountability and more people to know what happened. But if I left anything out, just yeah, let me know. And what do you think? This whole situation is pretty insane, and everything's kind of radio silent for now, But who knows? When chaos comes back, maybe things will get better, maybe things will get worse, who knows? Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe. Bye-bye!